Hello YouTube, this is Obsessed with Videos here, and this is my multimedia update of the 4th of April 2020. In this update I've got one Blu-ray and one 4K Blu-ray, which is a Steelbook. So let's get started with the standard Blu-ray, which is 21 Bridges. Produced by the visionary directors of Avengers Endgame, who are also known as Anthony and Joe Russo. This film also stars Chadwick Boseman, who was also in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Black Panther, which I've got on 4K along with all the other Marvel Cinematic Universe films, which my brother's bought the more recent ones, as you probably may have known. The tagline for 21 Bridges is, "The only way out is through him." This is a release from STX, distributed by Sony, as most of STX's UK releases are. When STX distribute them in the UK, they usually tend to be distributed through Sony Pictures on Home Media. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago when I got my previous STX release, which was Mile 22, that I could possibly get this, that I would possibly be getting this release when it came out, and I have on Blu-ray. I think the next release from STX on Home Media is most likely to be My Spy, which, considering it came out in March at the cinema in the UK, it's probably going to come out in July on DVD. And there's no Blu-ray listing for My Spy on Amazon, so if I wanted to buy it, I'd just have to get it on DVD. Anyway, as you probably know, My Spy is going to be released in the US, is at the moment scheduled to be released in the US in April this month, on the 17th. But due to the coronavirus pandemic, we don't know what will happen to it. All we know is that it was released in the UK it was released in Australia in January and in the UK in March. But we don't know when the US release of it will come out yet, because it was originally going to come out in March in the US, but it was moved to April due to the coronavirus, which could be a potential reason for it to be delayed in the US again. Anyway, here's the disc for 21 Bridges. And now onto the 4K Steelbook, which is Le Mans 66. From 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment. You've probably noticed for the last few months that they slightly changed their design of the spine. They've put, instead of having the Fox logo at the top and the Ultra HD /DVD /Blu-ray logo at the bottom, it has it at the top. This is probably due to the fact that that Fox started having its titles distributed by Disney in the States back in September when Dark Phoenix was released in the US, but when Dark Phoenix was released in the UK, it acquired this kind of artwork. Although, quite soon, Fox is actually going to start having its releases distributed by Disney in this country as well, starting with Spies in Disguise, which is due for Blu-ray release on April 27th. So, considering this was released on March 23rd and Spies in Disguise will be released on April 27th, I think that Le Mans 66 is probably the last home media release by 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment before they move to Disney. So the only exceptions from Fox where the Ultra HD logo is still near the bottom and whoever's distributing it is at the top is for the James Bond films on 4K, like Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall and Spectre, which have all been released on 4K now. Their artwork has the MGM logo at the top and the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray logo near the bottom. But considering, as I've mentioned before, MGM is moving to we don't know what will happen to the MGM Fox deal after Fox moves to Disney, because MGM might get a deal with a new company like Universal, which Universal also do MGM's newer releases like The Hustle and The Addams Family. So they could acquire the rights to do their newer releases as well, despite the fact that next year in the UK, Warner is going to start distributing Universal releases. Therefore, MGM could go back to Warner like what it was in the 90s when they were releasing videotapes. And in the very early 2000s as well, when some of their DVDs were distributed by Warner, before they moved to 20th Century Fox. Anyway, as of now, there are only 3 in the UK Fox titles that will be distributed by Disney on home media so far that have been confirmed on Amazon. There's Spies in Disguise, which comes out on April 27th, Jojo Rabbit, which comes out on May 11th, and The Call of the Wild, which has no scheduled release date yet, but expected to come out on home media sometime in June, at the least. Either June or July, or it depends what happens, because the next release from 20th Century Fox, or as it's called as of Call of the Wild onwards, it's 20th Century Fox since January has now been known as 20th Century Studios, as you probably knew, because when I showed the poster for Everybody's Talking About Jamie in one of my previous updates of either February or March, I explained that 20th Century Fox got renamed to 20th Century Studios due to Disney acquiring Fox. So, the next release from 20th Century Studios is apparently going to be The Empty Man, which is due for release on August 7th, 2020. But again, nobody can promise that, as for all we know, the coronavirus pandemic that is happening right now could still be happening by then, which is why many of their releases, along with some of Disney's, and Marvel and Lucasfilm, have been delayed. Because Free Guy, which was originally going to come out in July, was delayed to December due to the coronavirus. Same thing happened to the Bob's Burgers film, which was originally due for release in July, but got delayed all the way to April 2021. So those are just a few of the 20th Century Studios films that were delayed due to the coronavirus outbreak. Anyway, here are the discs themselves. There's the Blu-ray disc, and there's the 4K Blu-ray disc. I don't know if I'll do a full video talking about the coronavirus outbreak yet, but I'll see. I might, but I'll just see. Anyway, the next update will hopefully be uploaded sometime next week, so stay tuned for that, and that's it for this update, and stay tuned for more videos coming soon.